my amazing creative friends, Oksana here again, and today I wanted to do a little Q&A and answer questions. How do I organize my repeat pattern files and other types of artwork on my computer? I received this question from two of my amazing subscribers, John and Shannon, within just the last week, and I thought would be a good topic to talk about, to share how I organize my files, since it is a very important topic. Thank you guys for asking this question, and I wanted to encourage everyone to leave their questions in the comments below and also discuss their own ways how they do things and share with us. I always love to see you guys' comments, and thanks John and Shannon for these particular comments. So let's see, why do we need a file organization system anyway? Well, first maybe a year I wasn't really having any good organization system. I mean, the first year in my business back 10 years ago, and my husband, a boyfriend at the time, Alex, he actually encouraged me to create a system, a thought-through system of organization, since he said that when you scale up your business, when you do many more files over the next 5-10 years, it's going to be very valuable to have your files structured. So what happened was that I listened to him and I created a simple system which I developed over the years, and I will show you my system today. And my action step for you guys for today would be to plan out, at least with a pen and paper, your own system that will fit the projects that you do. My system is heavily influenced by my work at Microstock. For Microstock websites, I created multiple patterns, actually more than 8,000 of vector files over the last 10 years. And my system has been super useful in organizing all of them on my computer. And later, once my husband and we developed some scripts for using in my business, and it sped up the things so much to be able to create new color versions and different sizes and different file versions, so that I could implement some automation practices in my business, which helped tremendously over the years. So for Microstock, there are very specific things and requirements how you organize your files, how you name your files, and which types of files there are. So I still use it to this day, since I sell on Microstock heavily to this day. But I also have other types of files for my personal work and for my client projects. And in this particular video, I'm going to talk more about the organization of patterns in not for clients, but for my Microstock business. Maybe I'll create another video for clients later. Please, oh, that's actually a good question. Please guys, let me know if you would like to see a video about the organization system for my client projects. Below in the comments, I'd love to see if it's interesting for you. Okay, let's move on. So here is my organization system. I'm going to explain it step by step. So I basically created a folder that's just simply is called Art. In that folder, I have two main folders. It's Art for my work and Personal Art. So in Art for my work, we'll go further, but Personal Art is just to show super quickly. It's just sometimes I create artwork just for practicing, for if I do any workshops, if I do any things that I just want to keep for myself, and I might use it to show on my social media, but generally it's not vector files. So I have a specific folder for that, and I organize my projects just based on some project or workshop or class that I took within this folder. It's called personal art. Let's go to the folder art for work. In this folder I have many different folders, and but the most notable for this video are patterns, templates and cards, and then I have client projects, and basically the list goes on here. But let's look at the patterns. So anything related to patterns and repeat borders, and sometimes patterns on some things like pillows or maybe fabric or something like that, I basically put in patterns folder. So let's move on next. So within patterns folder, if I open it up, I have subjects, basically, or topics or themes that I divide my patterns into. You can divide them chronologically, alphabetically, you can use another way, but I just show you what's been working for me pretty well. I'm very used to this system, but you can choose to do it a little bit differently or a lot differently too. But back to my system. So, for example, today I created a little pattern, just a simple geometric pattern. Here is called abstract triangle explosion, and I will use this pattern as an example for my saving of files. So for example, let's put this pattern in my abstract folder right here. So then I go into abstract folder, and I basically here is, so I create a pattern folder and call it with the pattern file name, except for the extension. So if the pattern is called abstract triangle explosion, then I add that if it's a textured or more pronounced elements pattern, I add this. In this particular case is texture. And then I use seamless, CSEAML, short version of the word seamless, and then I use, in this particular case, stock, and I will explain why I use stock. And then there is a .ai for vector file. So I will call, in this case, abstract triangle explosion texture seamless, and this is what will be important for us, but this actually too. So what else I do, I always use the lower dash, lower line here and here and here between words, as my husband taught me that it's much easier than to use all kinds of automations when you name your files with this lower line here, instead of just breaks in between words. So basically this would be the name of the folder, and then within this folder, this is how I use I save my files. So it's, for example, so I use the same portion all the time. You can see here it's always the same, but then I save my files the following way. So if I have, let's say if this pattern would not be cropped, now it's actually all cropped, nice and neat. But if the triangles were not cropped in the repeat, but just laid out in the repeat but not cropped, I will call it like this, without stock here. So this is just for me, I came up with it. It means not cropped and not expanded repeat. So if I need a raw file of any pattern not cropped, I have it like this with seamless.ai. This is what tells me that it's not cropped. Then from that point I create a copy and I call it with the extension stock. You add the word stock later, and then I can crop it, go ahead and crop my file, basically make it like this, and this will be called stock AI. I use the current Adobe Illustrator version for that, so I just now save in CC 2015. And next what I do is mostly both for my clients and for the microstock. I save the files, AI file, as a EPS. So I only save this cropped version, not cropped version. but only cropped version as an EPS. So I skip the stock here, and then I save it as version EPS 10, and I will show you how to do that. So you go to File, Save As, and then here you basically you choose the folder, and then you say Illustrator EPS, save, and then it asks you which version. So I always use Illustrator EPS 10. It's because my microstock requirements. But you can save as another EPS type file depending of what project you're working with. So then it's EPS 10, and there's a little notification to say that it's a older format, but I still do it anyway. Okay, and now we have this EPS file. So you can see now it says EPS right here. Okay, back to our system. So we have EPS. Now what's important for me, the next part is important because you need to be able to find your files and browse through files easily on the computer. So far this is the method that I use. So I create two big JPEG files. I create two JPEG files. One is small one and one is big. So a small one is 500 by 500 pixels and the big one is 4000 by 4000 pixels. I might make this even bigger depending on the website that I normally upload to. But for Spoonflower, for example, for uploading to the Spoonflower is a print-on-demand fabric website that I sell my patterns on. This has been very good size so far. So basically, and this is very important for some of the microstock agencies that I upload to, and also for my own browsing, and that make it much faster to find my patterns over the time that I created them. And I will show you that in the next step. So small JPEG and the big JPEG are right here. The following, then you can do PDF, you can do PSD, you can do a PNG or other types of files that you might need for your websites that you normally upload to. I encourage you to plan out which websites do you upload to, write them down, write the size requirements down, and create a system for yourself. The next, what I encourage you to study automation. So you can do actions within Adobe Illustrator to help you save all of these files easier. My husband created a script for me. I might figure out how to make it accessible to you guys on a later date. I'm still working on that. But for now, you can use actions to set up some of these preferences and save these files easier for you guys. But also, if you don't make a big number of the patterns for now, you can just save them by hand, and this will save you a lot of troubles and headache in the future if you organize it in some similar way to this, or come up with your own system based on this. So basically this is what we have here. Okay, next portion of my system looks like this. So you have all these beautiful patterns on your computer, and you have them organized for future use and uploading to different websites. But how do you preview your artwork easily? At least on my iMac that I use, I cannot preview them easily for just browsing. So this is the system that me and my husband came up with for ourselves. So I use the Finder app on my iMac. This is the icon of this app, and this is my steps that I use to create this folder in the Finder app. So I create a Finder folder within the patterns folder from my system. Then I copy all small JPEGs, the ones with 500 by 500, these ones. Let me show you this one. So all these JPEGs, they go into this folder, into one folder. Then you go to this folder. Let me find this folder for you guys. Okay, that's the older, the one with, I have actually two, since I have so many that this folder is becoming a little bit slow. So I have this folder. Then you can have it like this, all the little JPEGs, see, 500 by 500, or you can organize them by thumbnail. Then what I do, I go to right click, go to arrange by, and then date created or date modified, and then it's organized. The newest one will be here and the older one will be down below. So these are very old patterns of mine, and I have a newer folder with the newer patterns too, so these are newer ones. And then I like chronological order. For some reason it helps me to find things easier, so this really been helpful, and I organized the folder like this, and I just have it here in my main patterns folder, and I just keep it here in the favorites tab on my finder on the left. And it's been super easy for me to find them and just preview. And then if I need some pattern, I would just go super fast and find a pattern from here. For example, I just want something and I'm not sure even what. So I just scroll through this folder, and it helps me immensely to find my patterns. So this is basically what's been working for me. This is how the preview pattern is. So yeah, now you know how to create a folder to make your life easier browsing through many images you have. Let's see. Okay, so to make your life a little bit easier, if you want to copy the system or base your new system on mine, I created a downloadable PDF. The link will be in the description below, so that you can download it and maybe print it out, or just copy and paste some things from there to make kind of a template for your own file organization system. Okay. So guys, I hope this information was helpful to you. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you being here, and I really appreciate your comments. If you have questions or suggestions for future videos, I appreciate them. Please leave them in the comments on my videos, and also just say hi. I like to meet you guys. My videos are my way of meeting new creative people and creating a fun community for us all to connect and encourage each other to grow, love and create. And thank you so much for watching once again. Please download the PDF if you find it interesting and you want to try and create your own system. Thanks once again for watching, and have a great day. Grow, love and create. Bye!